Well, I don't know if you can see me. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, sorry for being late. I don't know if you are in Europe. It's already 10:30. But this week I promised that I would deliver a video about how to make eyes beautiful in your pictures. And I cannot do the editing and all those things now, but I want just to tell you how to do that. And because it's just a very quick thing, I will create a video that is a little bit more detailed afterwards. Of course, if you want to if you have the interest, I will do it very detailed and fantastic, like usual. I'm joking. Anyway, guys, please look at what I am telling you in this moment. I hope you are hearing me because I didn't check anything. So, well, if you don't hear me, I will just I would just appear like stupid. But it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's 10:30 in the evening, so I'll be sleepy. But I wanted to show you my desk. So what I'm doing first, I want to show you what I'm using. I have on my desk. I can show you my desk. Actually, my desk is the following. This is exactly what I'm using, the setup I'm using. I'm using, of course, the keyboard. I have a Mac. I'm using a trackpad and the most important part is this, which is like a tablet. That is very useful for editing. So I really recommend everyone that is doing editing with Photoshop to use such a device. I will put the link in the next video, in which I will be a little bit more structured about it, and I will explain you what is that. But the nice part of this is Wi-Fi. There is no cables around, so I like to have everything free in my desk. So I will use this. I will not go in details, but you will see me using something. It's not my mouse, but I'm starting to use this. I just wanted to make you aware that there is this possibility. Anyway, I expect that if you are following this, you have some certain idea about how to use Photoshop. It's not for poor beginners. Of course, the other video that I will do, if you are interested, I will put more details on that. But let's go to the desk, and I will show you what I intend to do, what I intend to do to you. So this is a picture I took. The eyes here are really beautiful in reality, but as you can see, they appear very, very dark. And this is a pity because it's a fantastic picture, and you can do a lot. And what I will teach you in this tutorial is from this situation to come to that situation. Voila. One second. Doesn't work. Okay, this situation. So this is the end result that you will have. Of course, this is just about the eyes. So it's not about the color and not about the skin. I know there are certain kind of problem yet with this image, but as you can see, the color of the eyes, it's just something else different. I took a challenging picture because I don't want just to take a very easy one in which the eyes are already beautiful to make it even more beautiful. But I can do that also if you want. Just let me know in the comments, in the chat, whatsoever you want. The most important thing is that you understand this. So I will start from scratch, just from this image to show you the entire process. So I just want to really start from scratch and to really start from the beginning. So I will close this image and I will say don't save, and then I will open it again for you because there is something important going on in there, and it's this thing, this camera raw. So what I'm doing is, like, usually I look at the person here. I always zoom in the face of the person. And the other thing important, I'm trying to figure out what to change. So I'm usually changing already a bit in camera raw. The shadow, I'm increasing the shadows so I can see a little bit more what's going on in the shadows. And in this case, there are a lot of shadows, so I use this a little bit more than usual. I don't use it usually in that way. Of course, I also increase the white because I want to see a little bit of contrast. And the highlights, of course, also those a little bit I increase. The blacks, I don't like to increase the blacks because in my personal taste is like when I decrease the black, I got a little bit that contrast that usually gave to the image a little bit of a punch. So I play with the shadows, and the blacks I decrease the blacks. And also I usually increase here it was already increased because I did it before. I increase the clarity to 6 because I like to play with the clarity. As you can see, anything here you can just extremize. I don't know if it's the correct term, but if you put it at maximum effect, this will be the effect that you have. So I like the clarity effect because it's something that is giving a little bit that contrast look. So it's like there is a little bit more details we can see. Sometimes the details are not very good, but you can of course eliminate some problems, some temporary blemish of the skin. This is not an issue. In these terms, what I like is to have a little bit more details on the face. This is important also for the eyes. And so this is the first step. So usually I just tweak a little bit highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks before opening the image. And this is the first step. And already the eyes look already different. If you can see without and with, there is already some kind of work done there. And this is the first step. The second step I like to do once the image is open is this. I use a plugin that is called Nick Collection. There will be a video in the description. I didn't add it yet, but I will add a video so you can download this for free. You don't need to spend money on that. It's free. Just follow my tutorial. I already published it in the channel. And subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. But anyway, if you look at the Nick Collection definitive solution that I will put a link in the description, you will find how to install it in also Mac. So because usually you cannot install in Mac. I'm sorry, but I have only solution for Mac because I have a Mac. I don't have a normal computer, but I really would like to help you guys if you want to install to a new computer. I guess it's easier to install to a new computer than a Mac. But I have the solution for you Mac guy, Apple boys. Yeah, my boys. Anyway, just the only thing I'm using is that this filter called Color Effects Pro. You can just click on the selective tool, and this is a fantastic plugin that is giving you some kind of very good function. That for me are really important. There is a function in particular called Darken Light Center. That is the one that will appear now. That is everything live, so I'm sorry I cannot speed up the video, but you can speed up it afterwards if you see it. So you can speed up this piece absolutely fine. Just if you click on there, you will see there is this function Darken Light Center. What I like about this is that you can add one light, because usually when you are outside, you don't have light with you. So you can just use this and this light to have an extra light. And where I want to add this light, this is to place the center here. I click here and then I want to add it in exactly in this eyes, in this part here. What I usually do is like I'm trying to zoom in a little bit because it's too little on the face, and then you can increase the luminosity a little bit. You can decide how much luminosity you want. And what I like to do is like to get a little bit the feeling. There are 3 bars, like center luminosity, border luminosity, and center sides. The center luminosity is how much is strong the light on the center. So it's very easy. And just don't overdo this because it can be too much. This is too much, for example. I'm usually between 50 and 60, no more than 60 usually. And the border luminosity is the borders, exactly what it says. So it's this part of the image. So you can see if I increase the border, so the corners will be more clear, but I usually leave it also that around -60%. And the center size is how much you want this light to be big. I usually use also that around 50 and 60%. This looks fine. As you can see, there is a difference from ear to ear. So we are putting the light, the most of the light in the center, in the face, because we want to, she is our, the protagonist of our image. So this is really important. And of course, you can see that this effect it will be applied also to other part that we don't want to be applied, like the clothes, but we can eliminate that very easily, because when we press OK and we wait like half an hour to the effect to be applied, no, it's just few seconds, but it looks a bit long when it's live. So we can take this apart. And you can see that there is some bluish color here. We don't want the clothes to be blue. So what we do is like we use the erase tool that is here on the left. We can also press E, and we can delete the parts of. I put 70% of opacity to be sure that I don't delete the borders. And then I go there and I just delete those. You can see. This effect, and I try to be like I try to not go too much outside. So that's why I'm using the tablet, because with the tablet it's much easier to do this work instead of using a mouse, or even worse, this. So you can see that the color white is coming back. So this is really important. And also the dress should be the color that we see it in the reality. So this is not, so this kind of darkened part, it should be going. It shouldn't be there. So it's important that we eliminate this thing. Of course, this is not a very nice thing to show now, because it's a little bit time consuming, but it's important to do it and to understand the concept that we don't need the effect to be applied everywhere. And we just need to really make the face a little bit brighter. So as you can see, this is before and after. So there is a big difference. There is a big difference. So before, the light is almost here. So when you look at the image, you look at the brightest spot is almost here. And now we are just increasing a little bit there. Okay, so this is important. And that's it. This is one of the things I'm doing. I'm merging down afterwards, so everything is inside the layer. Another thing I do that usually to make a little bit brighter the eyes is like duplicate the layer and make the layer here, the layer below, brighter. So going to adjustment, brighten and contrast, and then increase the brightness. Then after that, what I'm doing is like I'm going to the top layer and I'm erasing using 0.5 of opacity, because it's important, this 0.5%, 5% of opacity. And then I delete part of the layer, so 5% of the layer on top. So I got a little bit more light on the face. You can do it also in other parts that you find it a little bit dark. For example, this black spot, if you don't like them, you can make it a little bit brighter. So this is important. Of course, we are focusing on eyes today, not on the skin and on the other things. So later we can do it. What I do after I played a little bit on this, as you can see, I can merge down again, because the situation should be like that. And this is the most important part of this tutorial, how to make the eyes beautiful. I mean, this is a challenging situation because the eyes are underneath. So what I'm doing is simple, but it's very, very good, very good. So this is, I'm duplicated the layer, so 2 times. And what I'm doing is like I am using the selective, I guess it's called selective tools, elliptical marquee tool, sorry. I'm using this. If you press the shift button while you're using the, while you're using this marquee tool, as you can see, there is a circle instead of an ellipse. If you don't use any button on the keyboard, you got an ellipse. So the scope of that is to circle and above the eyes. So you just need one circle on one of the background, so the top layer, for example, and then you go to select inverse, and when you do, and then you press the delete button. Doing that, what you do is like you isolate the eye. So I will show you what happens. So you have a layer just with the eye, okay? And the second thing you do is in the second layer that we took there, it's very simple. You design a circle, and then you inverse. You do inverse. You can also I used in this case I used just the command Shift E, which is my shortcut here. And then you do the same thing. And then in this case, you have two layers and you can see two eyes. Okay. What I'm doing in this case, I just merge down the first layer to the other one. So merge down, I'm just what you see. And what I'm doing here is like to change the blend mode from normal to overlay. Now you have strange eyes, and this is the thing. But what I'm doing here is like a couple of times I'm going on the image adjustment, brightness and contrast, and then I increase it from 100, and then look what is the result. And of course it's still too few, so it's still not enough. So I do it again, so I increase again the brightness. Maybe there is a way to do it faster, but I do it in this way. I'm showing what I'm doing. And this is what mostly I do. And so the color start to be a little bit better. Of course, there are still problems. Okay, the first thing I see, okay, of course we need to eliminate the circle because it's so weird. So we can just press the E button. So we delete this borders. It's super easy to delete the borders. So you can just, you remember to put opacity 100%, which I didn't do it now. That's why it wasn't working. And so what I'm doing now is just I'm going around this eyes, and I'm trying to delete the borders. So you can see, yuck. So you see that it's very easy. It's you can do it either with your mouse, or you can do it. It's better if you use a tablet. So it's just much easier. So once you do that, you see that it's already starting to look a little bit normal. Still, the color is not good because here what you need to do is you see that the difference already. So you can also check if you delete everything. Here I forgot to delete something, so you can see. So okay, there is still a bit on the here on the top of the. Okay, now it's mostly perfect. What you can do now, when what I do usually is like understand if the color is close to reality. And I see this, she has blue eyes. So I really don't want to see, this is kind of a strange color. So I want also to change the color and to make it close to reality. So what I do, I use my memory because I also have all the pictures, so I can also check all the picture. And usually I go here and I change the color. There is something called color balance. You can see the color balance has 3 tones. It's shadow, middle tones, highlights. And for each of them, I try to figure out which one was the original color. Starting from the shadow, I think I will give a little bit of blue to the eyes. It's more on the green side, the color of eyes. And absolutely, it's less red, so it's not that red. So the same thing, I will do it with the middle tones, and you will see the difference after some time. A little bit more magenta, a little bit less red. So you need really to remember how the color was. And let me see, let me check. It was definitely more blue. More on the green side, the highlight you can put it, and more on the cyan place. Okay, you can see the difference, because if I take out the preview button, so that's a different kind of color than this. So two different colors. One is more red and the other is more blue. in green. So there are, so for me this is more the realistic color that she had in the reality. Okay, so you can see, and that's the basic. So you can just use this as a basic. Of course, you can, for example, because now the eyes are a little bit too strange. So what I usually do is like I decrease the opacity of this layer to 60%, because this is the something so really strong sometimes. So I just don't like to put it. It's for me it's more natural on around 60%. But you can see the difference between this color and this color. And the nice part of this this method is like, look at this the difference. So from this to that is that you preserve all the natural beauty of the eye. You don't destroy anything. You don't have to recreate something weird. So you just have to use whatsoever you have in the image as information. And this is just the beauty of this method. Okay, there are also other things that you need to do in this image, and it's related to the eyes. So once you merge down this thing, you can duplicate again the layer, is what I'm doing. And because you can see sometime there is this eye is a little bit out of focus, and it's annoying me a little bit. So I duplicate the layer. I go to filter, and I think it was to filter, to order, and then I put an iPass filter. It's called iPass, and they usually put 18 as a radius, and that's what I'm doing. And then as you can see here, from blending mode to normal, I put soft light. And what this does is like to make everything more sharpened. Of course, I don't want to sharpen everything, so what I do, I add a mask and I invert the mask, so I eliminate this effect. And I just go with a brush. Be sure to be like around 70% of opacity, and to have the color white, and to write on the on the mask and not on the filter. And then I go on top of the eye. As you can see, as a magic tech, the eye will be more in focus. And this is something important because you need to have eyes in focus. And of course, I do also 30%, and I put in focus something like for example, the lips, or this ear, or something like the eyelashes and so on. So if you want, but the eyebrow. Anyway, but of course, the most important part to be in focus are eyes. So this is really, really, really important. And another thing that I'm doing usually is like, this is maybe the last thing I'm doing. I'm trying to put a curve. So a curve, like I usually use 3-4 points, is like a little bit more on the lower side than on the center. I want to be really centered. And then here a little punch, like, I don't know, around here more or less, like 1 to 2 things like this, more or less. I don't know. Mostly I do that. So there is a little bit more contrasty. So also this can be a little bit better time to time. And this image, it's really a good example. So of course, every time you do an image, you will have different result. Before I had a slightly different result, but mostly you can see there's consistency with this method, because it's not that different. Of course, now I am really excited because I have you guys looking at me, and that's why I'm doing a little bit worse. But as you can see, the difference is not that far. So I did 2 times the same thing, and we have mostly the same results. So I like also this method for this reason. And that's pretty much it, I guess. This is what I do for the eyes. And that's it. You have all the secrets, and I can go back to normal. I don't know if you saw something, or you just I was completely not seeable. Oh, I hope you saw something. In the case you didn't see anything, well, I will do the same video to explain it again. And hopefully, yeah, it's yeah, you got it. I delivered the promise. And anyway, if the stream didn't work because of Munich connection, well, I will do again some explanation of this process. Anyway, have a nice evening, guys, and yeah, connect, subscribe. See you. Hasta luego.